Most points are lost before they start on the serve. Today, I'm giving you a repeatable serve that you can trust under pressure. The rules, the technique, the targets, the patterns to help you win more. The goal isn't just to get it in. The goal is to have a more reliable serve that helps you start the point with an advantage. By the end of this video, you'll have a very locked in service routine and more confidence for your next game. Now let's cover technique, and we will keep this very simple to help us stay calm and collected and centered before we step up to the line. First and foremost is to establish a pre-serve routine, and that'll be very unique to each person, each player. What that will look like is making sure that you take a nice deep breath before the serve, eliminating all distractions, thoughts in the head from the previous point, getting centered here and now, visualizing where you want to go. Are we gonna go wide? Are we gonna go center? Are we gonna go up the tee? And then bouncing the ball. That could be like 1 time, 2 times, it could be 3 times. And then whatever other unique thing that you want to establish for your pre-serve routine, have fun with it. But always make sure that it's something that you can get back to get yourself centered. Okay, let's discuss some of the basics that you'll need to know every time you hit the courts. First things first, our feet must start behind the line. Next is we must bounce the ball. We cannot hit the ball out of the air. The contact point must be at about waist level or below. We can't toss the ball in contact above our waist. The ball will travel diagonally, just like in tennis, and we must hit the ball after the bounce without stepping on or over the line. Next is the ball must bounce before hitting the glass. It could hit that side glass, it just can't hit the glass first. And then same thing applies on your second serve, but for your second serve specifically, you'll just want to allow some more margin and take some pace off the ball. Okay, now for the technique. So we want to make sure that we're starting in a continental grip. The continental grip is pretend you're picking up a hammer or shaking someone's hand. Once we have our grip, we're going to want to make sure that we have the correct stance. So we want our feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart, and we want our weight slightly more on our front foot as we make contact. For the ball drop, we want to make sure that we're dropping it from a lower position. Remember, we can't contact above the waist, so we don't want to bounce it too hard where it bounces too high, and we don't want to drop it too softly where it doesn't really come up all that much. We want to give it a nice gentle drop push so it comes up around waist level. Now let's discuss the swing path. A lot of players that come into the game, they'll want to swing from low to high, almost like they're hitting topspin, coming over the ball like you would be in tennis. Instead, we want to have a high to low swing path. So the racket will start up high, and we're going to come down from high to low and follow through. Another thing is grip pressure. A lot of players will be gripping it so tightly before they serve, and then they'll lose control because they're so tight. Have a nice, soft, relaxed grip, and then subtle squeeze at contact. Contact point, again, is going to be around waist level, and we want to contact out in front. And then after the contact point, we're going to want to not stop. We want to continue to hit through. So pretend you got to hit through like three balls, following through towards the target. Next, let's cover positioning again. So a good rule of thumb is to stand midway between each side. So the glass and the center line, right in the middle. We don't really want to go past that. We won't be in an ideal position as we want to flow towards the net. midway here and in is ideal. I like standing more closer to the center, especially if I'm playing the left side. You want to be here so you can easily then recover to the left side. And as you're closer in, you can easily hit any target. Same applies on the left side. Okay, now let's discuss targets, where to aim. So we have up the tee, we have body, and we have wide. About half the time, even a little over half the time, we're gonna be going wider, especially because as you get more mastery over the wide serve, more confidence. At the beginner and amateur level, even intermediate, it's tougher to hit the return off the glass versus if it was to the body or up the tee. But it's always good to keep your opponents honest, serving to all the targets. For instance, serving up the tee will be good, especially for the right side player. That's gonna be their backhand, which is typically the weaker side. So that's an example of, okay, identifying potentially a weakness in the opponent. It might be that backhand side, so in that situation you would use the tee serve more often than not. And then the body serve is also another great target to use every so often, especially jamming them in the hip where they have to get out of the way. It's another one to keep them honest. Okay, next, let's discuss the importance of depth on the serve. So I have some balls lined up here, and the goal will be to focus on the serve landing behind this group of balls here. Really focusing on depth as opposed to power is super critical. Not more than 70 to 75% speed is needed, because anything more will lose margin, we won't be as consistent, plus we won't allow ourselves as much time to flow to the net to be in a balanced, ready position. So really focus on having depth and safe margins wherever you're serving, whether it's out wide, to the body, or to the tee. Now, something I really encourage players to think about, especially when they're playing a tournament and nerves start creeping in, is to have safe targets. If we're missing some serves, maybe even double faulting a bit, focus on a safe target. And what I mean by a safe target is aim literally almost in the middle of the box here. Because if we miss our target, we'll still likely make the serve. Because if we aim here, we literally have so much space around to work with. So when we're in our pre-serve routine and we really just want to get back into a rhythm, visualize, okay, I'm aiming right in the middle of the box. And that simple reset will really help you get back into flow, gain more confidence, and then from there, you could then start dialing in and getting more precise on where you want to hit the serve, whether it's tee, body, or wide. Now, I want to talk about two simple patterns that can be used with the serve. The first one being, if we serve up the tee, that immediately then exposes the opening in the corner where you could volley corner. And also, if we serve wide and we're getting in quickly, that immediately allows us the opportunity to volley through the middle. So point being is we're always having the returner move so they're not as balanced when they hit. Okay, now let's cover a couple common mistakes I'll see with the serves. The first one being is it's consistently going into the net. And the second one being it's floating too much, it's going too high. Let's start with the first one, with the ball going into the net. It's a simple fix. We want to make sure that we're giving it a little bit more lift at the follow through, and then just visualizing a little safer target above the net, increasing our clearance. So making sure the contact is out in front. So I'm going to make sure that I give it a little bit more follow through, a little more push, and I'm going to aim slightly higher. Next, when the ball floats. So when the ball floats and travels, the racket face is likely open. When the racket face is open, the ball has one direction to go, and that's up. So we have to slightly close it. So swing path, as you recall, is from high to low. Instead of going high to low and it being open, we're gonna be high to low and slightly close it. And then we're gonna continue to push through so the ball stays nice and low. Alrighty, my friends, that is a wrap on today's serve session. I'm about to go get in a game myself, so can't wait to get in some reps. And drop your city below. I want to hear from you, any questions that you have. And if you want consistency and confidence across your whole game, check out my 30-day beginner mastery course that will be launching soon on School. The link is in the bio. And until next time, keep protecting your inner peace like your life depends upon it, because it does. I'll catch you next time.